welcome to the Church of Thomas. Jesus' Birthday, Sermon 3908. As promised, here is the sermon to celebrate Jesus' birth. Jesus wanted us to walk in his example every day of the year. As a result, this day does not hold any more meaning to the Church of Thomas than the other 364 of the year. We should celebrate his birth every day of the year. God has no interest in which day of the year we remember Jesus' birth, just that he came here in the first place. I like the Christmas holiday. It is just not the day I think of as Jesus' birthday. The spirit of giving and kindness most often shown during the Christmas season belongs to the rest of the year as well. Think of it this way. For political expedience, we now celebrate our president's birthday, formerly known as Washington's birthday, on a day when not a single president was born. Many other holidays are determined by a phase of the moon or certain observed celestial event. Easter and Passover are good examples of this. They are not on the same date on the calendar each year. There are also differences in the exact day to celebrate most Christian holy days in the Christian faith, depending on which branch you hail from. The Church in Rome, the Russian Orthodox, and the Greek Orthodox all have different dates depending on their traditions. In the Church of Thomas tradition, the date was based on Thomas as Jesus' brother's statement of the date. Since we accept that they were twins, it is very likely that the date Thomas gave was accurate. The date passed down in our church is March 15th. We do not know the year with any certainty. I think it can also be supported by other factors. The use of a fish as a symbol for the new movement has been explained away several ways. These fish symbols are seen in many secret gathering places attended by the persecuted Christians. The fish symbols cover the walls of the catacombs below Rome. The first explanation revolved around the idea that the first followers of Jesus were fishermen. What better way to remind people of that than to adopt the fish as their symbol? The second idea was that Jesus often spoke to his people with fishing analogies. An example would be Matthew 4:18 through 20. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come, follow me," Jesus said, "and I will make you fishers of men." At once they left their nets and followed him. In that passage, it is obvious that Jesus was using the fishing as a familiar way to tell them what he was calling them to become. Another way to explain the fish as his symbol is that in astrology, there's a sign called Pisces. The time surrounding Jesus' life is called by astronomers the Piscean age. This was not determined from seeing fish on the walls of a catacomb. They were observing the constellations in their sky. In this vein, anyone who has heard the description of a person born in the sign of Pisces would see some striking similarities with the life of Jesus. I'll contrast this with the date sign that is currently celebrated, December 25th, which is Capricorn. These signs are only a part of a birth chart, but a sign that is a birth sign is considered a strong influence on outward personality. The December 8th date would indicate a very different kind of personality. Some key words associated with Capricorn are prudent, aspiring, calculatedly. They are known as great achievers in monetary concerns, self-contained and overly cautious, or other traits. A strong need for security is also indicated. They generally do not rock the boat. This is the personality of someone who was much more likely to identify with the money changers than to want to kick them out of the temple. Okay, now let's look at the personality of a person born in Pisces. Some key words associated with it are humble, compassionate, otherworldly, kind, intuitive, charming, inspiring. A great desire and ability to relieve the suffering of others. This with his devotion to lightening the burdens of others. I see the traits of Pisces as a much better fit for the Jesus I know and love. To sacrifice for a greater good as well within the realm of this kind of personality. Taking the constellations seen in another way to find a connection with Jesus' birth, we don't have to look far. When the three wise men saw signs in their sky indicating a new king, there is a prominent star mentioned. There has been a wide-ranging effort by Christian astronomers to try and pinpoint a date that such a sign would appear in the sky. They have been looking at the possibility of a supernova, among other events, around the correct year. They have Arab record keepers to thank for some of their study material. The Arabs were very advanced in their documentation of their sky and unusual events that occurred there. They have looked at the possibility that several planets may have lined up to increase the perceived brightness as seen on Earth. They have also studied the possibility that a very bright star might have been the source of this bright light seen when Jesus was born. As of yet, there has not been any observed celestial event that was within the winter range of several years before or after Jesus is born. They understand that the year he was born is also in debate. There were no events in the last half of any of those years. Interestingly, there are about 3 possible signs in the sky that could have been the bright object the wise men saw. All of them fall in the first third of those years. 2 of them fall inside the sign of Pisces in the month of March. As you can see, there are many possible reasons to associate the fish with Jesus. The astrology explanation is one that shows agreement with the basic personality of Jesus as we know him. With the astronomy research in the same ballpark, just adds credibility. Whenever you choose to celebrate Jesus' birthday, do it with your life of service in mind. Try to model his compassion. Make his life the guide to how you strive to live your life. And more importantly, remember it is the spirit of love that should radiate across the entire year. God bless the whole world, no exceptions. Angel Eliza.